We start with breaking news from the US, where Donald Trump has claimed another big victory in the race to become the Republican presidential nominee. After sweeping to victory in Iowa, the former president has now won the first state primary of the 2024 election in New Hampshire. His only rival, Nikki Haley, a former UN ambassador, says she's not giving up despite suffering defeat.
I want to congratulate Donald Trump on his victory tonight. He earned it, and I want to acknowledge that. Now, you've all heard the chatter among the political class. They're falling all over themselves, saying this race is over. It's not over. Well, I have news for all of them. New Hampshire is first in the nation. It is not the last in the nation. This race is far from over. There are dozens of states left to go.
And after his big win, Donald Trump has been addressing supporters in New Hampshire.
This is an evening that I will not forget because it's the third time. But more importantly, I think it's going to be the most important time. We won both. It was, I think somebody said you rarely, if you win both, they've never had a loser. Let me put it that way. When you win Iowa and you win New Hampshire, they've never had a loss. There's never been. So we're not going to be the first, I can tell you.
DW's Janelle Dumoulin is standing by for us in Nashua, New Hampshire. Janelle, New Hampshire was widely considered one of Nikki Haley's best shots at winning against Trump, yet she lost resoundingly. What influenced the voters' decision?
Yes, Tommy, we have been saying it for days. If there was going to be an electorate that would have been friendly to Nikki Haley, then New Hampshire would have been it. What she really would have needed was these groups of moderate voters, college-educated voters, undeclared voters to coalesce around her. That has clearly not happened, and now Donald Trump has walked away with a victory here in New Hampshire. I have to tell you, though, Tommy, I am standing here at a Trump campaign election watch party. You might see people streaming out behind me as the event comes to a close. But I also have to say that the mood here was much more jubilant before the results started coming in. I think the supporters here were really expecting to see much more of a landslide. They wanted to see Nikki Haley decimated. Now, of course, Donald Trump does have that double-digit lead over her, but the fact that she is saying that she is going to stay in the race, this is ruffling some feathers here. We also heard Donald Trump speak earlier, and this was a much angrier speech than he had than when he was in Iowa, where he wanted to appear more presidential, calling for more unity within the country. This time he really went on the attack against Nikki Haley, saying that she went up on stage and acted like what she was giving was a victory speech. But you were also asking about the issues, Tommy, and I think one of the things that has sort of emerged as the number one issue for primary voters here is immigration. A lot of supporters that we talk to, they keep saying that to them, Joe Biden has lost control of the southern border. Illegal migration has become a big problem, and that they think Donald Trump has the answers to that problem. Worth noting that New Hampshire is in the northeastern part of the country, as far from the southern border as you can imagine, but that hasn't stopped it from being at the foremost of voters' minds. And in the end, in talking to these supporters from Nikki Haley and from Donald Trump, we could tell that Donald Trump supporters were simply much more enthusiastic about him than perhaps Nikki Haley supporters were, and that has also shown itself to be something that is also translatable into the ballot box.
And with Nikki Haley promising or insisting that she will stay in the race, is there a realistic path to victory for her?
Indeed, and I think we're going to hear this line over and over. She's repeated it a few times now that South Carolina doesn't do coronations, it does do elections. That's what she's been saying. She's trying to pierce this air of inevitability around Trump. But it's going to be hard. She put so much here in New Hampshire. She outspent all of the other candidates in terms of aid money. She was really, really banking on New Hampshireites to turn out for her. Now she doesn't have so much to show for it, and she actually may have difficulty raising that donor money. We've also seen the political establishment of South Carolina basically lining up behind Trump, so that presents another challenge for her as well. What we can expect from here on, I would say, is a step up of the attacks on Trump. I think what we're going to see is a battle between the two, a battle of words that's going to become much more heated. She did lob several attacks at Trump's mental acuity in the last days. Some people say that she may have started doing that too late. But definitely, I think she will find more things about Trump to criticize. She's going to go more on the offensive and hope that in her home state of South Carolina, those messages, those warnings against Trump will somehow have to resonate.
Okay, DW's Janelle de Malone, thank you for that update.